Hi everybody, sorry it's been a while since I posted a video. I had a very long past 2 weeks. Um, During the last week of May, I graduated from college. I went to BookCon, which was incredible. I met some of my favorite booktubers, a book reader, read by Zoe, and Haley in Wonderland. They were sweet. It was so much fun. I was glad to be able to share that with my family. I had family visiting from out of state to celebrate my graduation with me. So yes, it was crazy. And then this past week, it's also been kind of crazy. I recorded about 30 minutes worth of footage in 3 separate videos, and there was no sound. There was a problem with some of my equipment, and I just replaced it. So that's why I've been incredibly late. And I'm going to re-record the 3 videos that I lost to the best of my ability because I'm very tired. Spending some quality time with my nephew, which was fun, incredible, love it. He's 1. It's amazing and it's a blessing, but it's also, he's also a baby. He requires a lot of attention, a lot of love, and I enjoy doing all of that, but it means everything else gets put to the side and has to wait. So I'm really sorry about that. I'm glad to be back. The first video I will be recording is a May wrap up, which was my intention to post at the end of May, but I didn't get the chance to. I finished a lot, and I mean a lot of books in May, more than I thought. So I'm not really gonna go too into depth over every book that I read because I don't really have that kind of time. And even when I originally recorded the video, I recorded almost 25 minutes of footage just on the wrap up because I was trying to give a little explanation for each book so people could see what it is, what it's about, maybe get into it. I'm gonna do my best to include a picture of the book in one of the corners of the video. Hopefully I'm able to pull that off. Again, you guys know I'm really new at editing, so I'm gonna do my very best. If you don't see the picture in the corner, there will be a link below in this video, as there is in all my videos, to my Goodreads, where you can see the names, the authors, my ratings, everything down below. Very quickly, I am going to mention how I rate books because it would make no sense to talk about the books, talk about like whether I thought it was a 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, 1-star, whatever the case may be, if you guys have literally no idea what that means to me. So in the past, I rated basically almost everything I've personally read 4 or 5 stars. Why? I usually don't give books less than that the time of day. I'm going to be honest. I have no interest in reading a 1-star book, a 2-star book, a 3-star book. It's not for me. I feel like there's so many books in this world to read. I don't want to waste my time on something that I don't feel is absolutely stellar. But I have since changed my mind about it and changed the way I've done rating, and it's mostly because I've watched a lot of BookTube and I've read a lot of other Goodreads reviews, so I'm working on it. So right now, my scale is 0 stars for a book that I DNF'd, which is did not finish. Afraid of the book. I didn't give it the all the way through treatment. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, yes, I'm going to give you 1 star. No, it just wasn't for me. Somebody else might love it. It might be a 5-star for them. Great for them. Glad they found it, loved it, and enjoyed it. For me, it's a 0 stars. 1 star is a book that I did finish. Maybe because I liked the writing style, or I'm attached to the author, or I was curious about the character. But in the end, it felt as flat as I thought it was. Whatever that kept me going wasn't really enough for me to sit through a second book if it's a series, or recommend the book, or whatever the case may be. A 2-star is a book that I felt like had potential, but never did the work to reach it, or fell into some typical tropes of its genre, which obviously is not my favorite. I don't want to read the same book dressed up in a different way. It's annoying and boring. 3 stars is, I like this book. I enjoyed it. I would tell my friend or someone I care about maybe to look into it. I wouldn't rush them and be like, you have to read this right now. Oh my gosh, it's going to change your life. It'll just be like, oh, this book, I really enjoyed it. Maybe if you have some time, you should read it. If you're looking for a light read or a fun read or something that's not serious, not too much drama, not too much edge, this is the book for you. 4 stars is a book that is almost perfect, obviously. And the reason they don't get the 5th star is because I feel like either it was rushed, the author copped out, a character ended up being disappointing, like they didn't go through any kind of character development, which to me is very important. You could have an incredible plot, incredible stories, incredible characters, incredible settings, everything, dialogue, everything perfect. But if your character stays the exact same person throughout a book, let alone a series, no, I'm not feeling it. You're getting 4 stars because I enjoyed every other aspect, but that aspect disappointed me, and I'm not about that life. And then a 5-star is a book that has everything I want, which is a vast array of emotion. I don't want to just be sad. I don't want to just be angry. I want to feel everything. I want to be on a roller coaster. It has character growth, great side characters. The characters feel like real people, as in I close the book and I can imagine what they're doing in their lives, despite the fact that they don't exist. A lot of authors' names out loud because I do not like to mispronounce people's names. Again, like I said, link below in the description for my Goodreads if you're very, very curious about what's what, who did what, if you're going to enjoy it yourself, maybe some further thoughts. I'm working on writing better reviews for books so that people can actually read them. I'm working on it, guys. It's coming. Give me time. Also, in the description, link in the description while we're talking about it, is my Instagram. At 200 followers, I will be doing a giveaway for a copy of Geekerella. I have 2 copies. I'm looking forward to being able to give a copy away. So if you haven't followed me on that page yet, do so and let your friends know so that we can get to that exciting part of things. Unfortunately, it'll only be in the US. I don't have international shipping money yet. Hopefully by the next one I'll be able to do an international giveaway. We'll see. But yes, that's what's up. That's what's going on. All You Need to Know to Get It Together by Arden Rose, which I gave a 4 stars because I felt like it wasn't really the kind of self-help book it is almost publicized to be. It's more of a memoir, which was fine. I enjoyed it. It was a very short audiobook. I finished it in a day. It was good. If you want something like sorry, I don't know why I even attempted to pronounce that name. But yes, modern poetry book. I read it in ebook form. Gave it 4 stars as well. I'm not the biggest fan of modern poetry, to be honest. Like that weird 3 sentences is a poem. The coffee is in the cup. It tastes bitter like your lips kind of thing. I mean, yes, beautiful, love it, sentimental. I did cry a bit. I find her poetry to be easy to connect to as a woman, and as somebody who's had their heart broken, because a lot of her poems are about that. So that's great. I'm talking way too much about this book. Oh my gosh. I forgot there's like 13 more books to go through, so let me stop. But yes, I would recommend it. Along for the Ride by Sarah Denson, who I love, one of my favorite authors. Don't at me. I also gave it a 4 stars just because I am older and I see her books through a different light. I am not as enamored with her as I was when I was younger. I will be talking about that a little more in a future video where I will do a story time. So, not really going to get into that too much. I also finished Wildcard, which, if you want a review of Warcross, which is the first part in this duology by Mary Lou, I've done that in a previous video where I talked about what I liked and didn't like about it and a little bit of what the book is about. Again, I'm kind of working on getting better at talking about books. It's not that I'm not good at talking about books. It's hard to talk about books to a camera and not a person because no one's saying anything back and fueling my ideas and giving me the ability to go in. But we're working on it. We'll get there. Be patient. Yes, I gave that 5 stars. Love her. Again, one of my favorite authors. I have literally read every book I can by her. I've read all her series, The Rose Society, the Legend series. Incredible, amazing, beautiful. Can't wait for book 4. Anyway, moving on. Like I said, there's a lot of books to go through. Arch Nemesis. This also got a 5 star. I love superheroes. Don't like Nova. Wanted to flick her in the eye, but this book was an emotional roller coaster, a whole one from beginning to end. And I'm glad that there's a little bit of a break before book 3 comes out because Lord, I ain't ready. Anyway, I also read Hunting Prince Dracula and Escaping from Houdini, which is part 2 and 3 in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. Amazing. Love it. Any Victorian-esque period books, then yes, this is for you. Great series. I gave the first one a 5. I gave Hunting Prince Dracula a 4 only because it was amazing. There was a lot of good things about it, but there were things where I was like, I guess. But Escaping from Houdini got a 5 because, oh my God, so good. Oh, good. Lord. But anyway, moving on. Again, I love the setting. I love because of the lack of modern day technology, how much more thought process had to go into finding the criminal and figuring out motive. And there's a lot of instinct and, the controversy around forensic science back in those days. And it's just amazing. And yes, read it. I also finished Crazy Rich Asians last month, which I'm so happy about because I do own the book, which I'm not showing for some reason, but I do own the book. And I recently, for this month, finished China Rich Girlfriend. They're both by Kevin Kwan, and I gave both 5 stars. I love it. I'm obsessed with them because I love the look into another culture. I love that it's not taking place in typical settings of like, oh, okay, well, we're here, or whatever. Like, we're in New York. I've read so many books that take place in New York. Not that I have anything against New York because I live here. I have to mention that in every video for some reason. But I just, okay, great. Or some like rural place that no one I know in real life actually lives. And I know people live there And if you live in one of those places, I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just saying, like, you know, great, but I've never even read a book where like a main character is from Florida. So, and almost everyone I know is moving or lives in Florida. So yes, it was refreshing to get a little, Chinese. It's so exciting. And I loved the movie. I actually saw the movie first. This is a part of something that I do now. I watch movies first, then I read the book, because the book will never disappoint me, but the movie would if I read the book first. So, yep, it's just my method. Don't at me. It works for me. Again, I gave it a 5 stars. Now, the next books I read were all in one series. I read book 1, 2, and 3 of The Wayward Children in audiobook form. I love them. They were short. They were about 5.5 hours maybe each, and I listened to all my books on 2 speed, but that's irrelevant. But very good. Not at all what I expected them to be, just so much better. So I don't even think I would say would be completely inadequate to describe what I felt while reading these books. They were just magical. Like, that's it. Like, so pure and like, I don't want to say blissful, because there is like a mystery to be solved in the first book, but just, I don't know. It's like, for me, it just makes me think of like being a little kid and like imagining the possibilities of things that could happen in life. So highly recommend. I gave them all 5 stars because why not? I'm really excited to finish the series. 7 stories by H.P. Lovecraft and Peter Pan. The H.P. Lovecraft, I gave 3 stars. I enjoyed it. I mostly went into it because I listened to a podcast called Welcome to Night Vale, which I love, and they always talk about it being very H.P. Lovecraft-esque, very inspired. So I didn't go in being shocked or anything by his writing style because, as I said, I listened to that podcast. But it wasn't like, not raving through the moon. I'm just like, okay, this was entertainment. It was very good. I'm glad I listened. If you're interested in that, listen to it. And if not, you'll live. And then Peter Pan, because I love Peter Pan. Huge obsession with Neverland and Peter Pan syndrome and all of it. I think Peter Pan is amazing. It is an incredible story. And I gave that a 3 stars as well, just because it's exactly what I expected it to be. The live action movie that came out when I was in elementary school, middle school, 8th grade. I can't tell you what year that is. I think 2001. 2005, around that time. That is everything I read in May. That's about 13 books, I believe. Yes, 13. It's about 13 books, which is great because my Goodreads goal is 115 for this year. I'm about halfway through. I've only finished 2 books this month so far, the month of June, and I DNF'd 1, but we'll talk about that in the future because this is a May wrap up, even though it's June right now. So thank you for being patient again with the crazy posting schedule. I'm gonna try to be posting at least 3 times a month. At least 3 times a month. I don't know what the future looks like. I would like to be able to do it once a week, but right now that doesn't seem to be working out for me. So we're going to make it 3 times a month, and we'll go from there, and we'll grow from there, and we'll have things occur and happen, and it'll be great. But yes, so May was a pretty good month with the average book rating being 4 stars, and I finished a nice variety of things mixed in. So let me know what you finished in May, if you read any of the books I read in May, if you're reading any of them now, or anything you may be looking forward to this summer reading, because I love summer reading. And I will be doing a summer TBR list video to come, so you can get the kind of idea of the things that I'm planning to read this summer. So thank you. Remember to support your local library. Read what makes you happy, and I will see you in the next one.